You know what's the easiest way to learn English naturally? Listening to fun, true-to-life stories where English is used in a real way. You don't need to memorize grammar rules. Just relax, enjoy the ride, and your brain will do the rest. So if you like learning English in a chill and fun way, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and tap the bell icon. New stories come out every single day. Don't miss out. Lila was the kind of traveler who liked to take her time. She didn't rush from one attraction to the next. She walked slowly, looked around, and tried to feel the rhythm of each place she visited. And when she arrived in Kyoto, she felt like she had stepped into a dream. The narrow streets were lined with wooden houses. The air smelled like cedar and sweet rice. The light filtered through paper screens and dancing leaves. Every step felt like a quiet poem. She had a list of temples she wanted to visit, but she didn't care if she saw them all. One or two was enough, as long as the experience felt real. On her third day, after a long walk through a bamboo forest, she found herself in a quiet part of the city. No crowds, no street signs in English, no tourists around. It was peaceful in a way she hadn't felt in a long time. She turned a corner and saw a small path leading up a gentle hill. At the top was a wooden gate with a tiled roof. Beyond it stood a temple surrounded by trees. It looked old but well cared for. There were no guards, no signs, and no ticket booths. She looked around. No one was there. The gate was slightly open. She assumed it was okay to go in. She walked through the gate slowly, almost on tiptoe. The gravel crunched softly under her shoes. Birds chirped in the trees, and a soft wind moved the branches like a slow wave. She reached the temple steps and paused. It was beautiful, quiet, graceful, and calm. She felt like she had walked into a painting. She noticed a small bell hanging near the entrance. Below it was a box with wooden slats. She had seen something like this before in pictures. People usually throw a coin in, ring the bell, bow, and make a wish. She smiled and stepped forward. She opened her bag, took out a coin, and dropped it gently into the box. The sound echoed slightly. She reached for the bell. Just before she touched the rope, a voice called out from behind her. She froze. It wasn't loud or angry, just a short word in Japanese, spoken firmly. She turned around slowly. An older man stood near the gate, wearing traditional clothes. He looked surprised to see her. He didn't seem upset, just confused. He walked toward her and spoke again, quietly. He pointed to a small wooden sign hanging to the side of the gate. It was written in Japanese. Then he pulled out his phone, tapped something, and showed her the screen. A translation appeared. Closed for ceremony. Please do not enter. Lila's eyes widened. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She bowed deeply, then again and again. She whispered, even though she knew he probably didn't understand her. He smiled gently and bowed in return. Then he pointed back toward the gate, not in a harsh way, but as a gentle reminder. Lila nodded quickly and walked back down the path. Her cheeks were warm. Her heart was pounding. She didn't know whether to laugh or hide. She hadn't meant to disrespect anyone. She thought the place was open. The gate wasn't locked. There were no signs in English. She was just trying to experience something quietly, respectfully. Back on the street, she found a bench under a cherry tree and sat down. The air smelled like rain and earth. She took a deep breath. That had been awkward, but also kind of magical. She hadn't seen a famous temple filled with tourists. She hadn't taken selfies or bought souvenirs. Instead, she had walked into a space that felt sacred. She had been stopped, but kindly. And now she had a memory she'd never forget. She pulled out her travel notebook and started to write. She described the path, the trees, the sound of gravel. She described the man's face, the surprise in his eyes, and the calmness in his voice. She described how her heart raced when she realized her mistake, and how the whole moment felt like a lesson. Not just about temples, but about travel, about slowing down, paying attention, asking before entering. Later that evening, she walked through another part of the city, filled with lanterns and laughter. She passed a street market and heard music. She stopped to try a sweet rice cake and listened to the sound of a flute in the distance. She didn't try to visit any more temples that day. She didn't rush to find another one. Instead, she wandered. And the city opened itself to her in little ways. A smile from a woman selling flowers. A cat sleeping on a stone wall. A child pointing at a koi fish in a pond. The magic was everywhere, once she stopped chasing it. That night, as she lay in bed with the window slightly open, she could still smell the cedar from the temple grounds. She could still feel the soft gravel under her shoes. She thought about how quickly embarrassment had turned into something meaningful. She realized she didn't need perfect moments. She needed honest ones. And that accidental visit, quiet, short, and completely unexpected, had become one of her favorite stories. And guess what? You just learned English without even realizing it. All those phrases, verbs, and sentence structures, your brain picked them up naturally, because that's what happens when you learn through story. If you liked this one, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss tomorrow's story. Yep, there's a new one every single day. Now it's your turn. Have you ever walked into the wrong place by accident? What happened? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to read it. See you in the next one.